Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another Ben 10 Ultimate Alien reaction for you guys. This is Season 1, Episode 9. Of course, I won't know the title until I get into the episode. Last week's episode was probably one of the biggest episodes of Ultimate Alien so far because, of course, the trio, Ben, Gwen, and Kevin, got introduced to Agregor officially, face-to-face, multiple times. And it didn't go so well. It really didn't. Agregor is proven to be pretty damn strong now. And this is before he absorbs the 5 aliens he specifically took to become the most powerful being in this universe, this galaxy, whatever, because they got introduced to the trio of the 5th and final alien. Now, we got introduced to him episodes ago, but they got to meet him for the first time, Rad, which is amphibian when Ben turns into him. That's what he yelled, amphibian, or whatever. And so it's like, okay, and he told the explanation of why these 5 aliens were specifically captured by Agregor. And yeah, it was a pretty crazy episode. And I remember talking afterwards, talking with Darren, who have done live streams with Ben 10 before, and he's been on Council of Creators and all that kind of stuff. He's a really cool guy to talk to, the goodest of boys, as I call him. And he said that episode when he was younger scared him because he honestly thought Ben was going to die because of how bad Agregor was kicking the shit out of him. Like, it's pretty brutal, and it's a pretty brutal episode. It really is. And we also got to see, real fast before we jump into the actual episode, I still thought about this, we got to see a new kind of like magic from Gwen because she found a teleportation spell on the winds or whatever, and they teleport out of there. That's pretty damn cool in my opinion. That was pretty awesome to see. So anyways, guys, I'm excited to see where we go from here after seeing how episode 8 ended. I mean, it's not good at all. Agregor has all 5 of them now. We'll see what happens next, guys. Let's jump in now. Let's go. Darkfall.
One blood-sucking soap opera and his little heart goes pity-pat.
Vampires are romantic.
And hot. Ow!
Yay. Hello. No idea.
Cool.
This is not part of the thing.
Helper.
We want $10 million in 1 hour, or it's vampire
10 million.
night for Jennifer Nocturne.
It's time. Ready my armor.
Spider monkey. Okay. They're just standing there. Damn.
How are we going to do this?
He's like,
Said anything about blue monkeys. You're not going anywhere.
I'm your biggest fan, Ben Tennyson.
Rewarded by a steamy kiss from the film star. Is romance in the air?
News about Benifer.
They're not calling him
Benifer?
that.
Oh my god, Benifer.
He's got a bigger crush on Captain Nemesis than he does on Jennifer Nocturne.
That's
Isn't that
fair.
right, then?
Yes, see, exactly.
Oh, it's not a crush.
Captain Nemesis is a real
Hero time.
American hero. Only
Hero
a
time, I love that
pinhead would
title.
compare decades.
She kissed me. I didn't even enjoy it.
It's fair. That bullshit, you
The
didn't enjoy it.
tabloids are calling.
She was thanking me for saving her life.
They went to dinner?
And those pictures
Uh-huh.
of the 2 of you in her hot tub?
That was fun. Great view. Cross-pollination of our careers. That's why I'm going with her to Captain Nemesis's party tonight. Definitely not the limo type.
So the helicopter? Oh my
You
gosh.
look wonderful. Ready for the party?
Yeah, sure. Party. Oh my god. Okay. Have you heard about this Captain Nemesis before? I don't remember.
Don't be ridiculous.
I didn't know you were bringing a guest. Tim Benison, isn't it?
Tennyson.
Tim
Ben Tennyson, sir.
Of course.
You're a living legend.
Yes, and if you live
Yeah.
long enough, they'll say that about you too, Benetton.
How many aliens have you fought?
Well,
A
Aliens.
lot.
I ever tell you about the time I went up against Computron and his robots from Dimension 12?
Where do common criminals get this kind of firepower?
I don't know. They steal
Did
'em?
Captain Nemesis
Come on,
pay
help me.
them?
You're the
I bet, because he was there
Where would I
waiting,
get
yeah.
stuff like that?
Rescuing Jennifer Nocturne was supposed to put me back on the front page. Get the youth market, you said. Was Ben this, 10 that. It's like I don't exist.
He's just a fad, sir. Something will come up eventually.
Simons. Are we good?
My client is offering exclusive footage and an exclusive interview afterwards, Mr. Harang.
Okay. Damn. I think he had mentioned that he fought these guys at some point.
I've warned you metal menaces before. Earth is off limits.
Oh, damn. Okay, he actually does get hurt during this
Did you
attack. Of course, Ben's there now, too. Okay, what? Oh my god! Damn. Alright.
Are you Captain Nemesis's new sidekick? I took out 10 of these things and he only beat one.
Ben Tennyson just said you were
Ben
over the hill
Tennyson.
and unable to do your job. He's not a delinquent, Will. He's just misguided. It's the responsibility of all of us to guide our youth into making better decisions. I propose a friendly competition. A contest of heroes. All proceeds to
Okay.
charity, of
Ooh,
course.
interesting.
I'm sorry, what?
Remember the kidnappers? Their guns were manufactured by one of Captain Nemesis's companies.
He owns all kinds of stuff.
Normally, this train yard is the last stop for rusted out hulks.
Uh-oh.
It's old school versus the new hotness.
The
It's doomed to
hotness.
see who rules.
Our first event, throwing train engines for distance.
Longosaur. Exactly. Way too far. Yeah, exactly.
You don't have a chance this time, Tiananmen.
I think
He
Jet
can't even,
Race
I love how he
faster
just
than anybody.
never freaking says his name right.
Oh man, nobody beat.
Jerry would have easily beat him, but yeah.
How does it feel to even up the score?
Let me tell you something, Captain Nemesis. Nobody shoots Raph in the face with a rocket. We have a tie, so we're going to a tiebreaker.
Okay, let's do it.
It's a tug of war for all the marbles.
Here we go with forearms again.
Nemesis.
Luckily, Ben picked a strong alien here. Uh-oh. It's over. Yep, figured.
I can't say for certain that Ben Tennyson cheated. That's up to
How?
you, the viewer.
What?
If we remove the suit's inhibitors, we can get an additional 300% output, but
I don't want to hear about the danger.
This feels like a version of Iron Man, but obviously
lost.
not
For
a
the
good
first
guy.
time
You
in my
know what I'm
life.
saying?
Amp up the suit.
And this.
Showing some aggression there.
And this.
Julie Yamamoto. Good.
He's taking her too. My God.
Mr. Smooth.
Julie can't come to the phone right now. I've got her. If you want her back, come get me.
We're going ultimate. Yep, we're going ultimate.
Everything we've come to expect from 10 Venison.
Always messes up his name. Ooh. Wow. The suit really is advanced now. He's still getting his ass kicked. Okay.
The movie star girlfriend and the faithful hometown sweetheart.
Oh, wait, Goop can say both. Okay, come on. Yeah, exactly.
You're my girl.
What about Jennifer?
Covered.
What's up with him? He's hot.
Dude. What the? Oh my God.
Oh, now you're my friend? I can't believe I wasted my whole life trying to protect people like you.
I feel like something's gonna happen to the suit. Like it's overpowering, maybe.
Thing, it gets hotter.
Water hazard.
Water? Okay, water has it. Okay. Suit's cracking.
You won't
Okay.
beat me.
He just
I can
did.
still prove to everyone that I am the hero.
It's actually helping him beating, kicking his ass, you know?
How could you do this? This isn't about fame. It's about helping people.
Exactly.
You are talking about him, right?
Have you ever considered
No, no, no.
I will peel you like a grape.
Another life destroyed by the menace
I
that
knew it.
is
I knew
Ben
it.
Tennyson.
He was gonna turn it on Ben. There you have it, guys. Season 1, Episode 9 of Ultimate Alien. Hero Time makes perfect sense. That title makes a lot of sense. Before we jump into the episode, really, because there's a lot of things to talk about, I want to play this line that Ben says to Captain Nemesis, and then Julie responds. I think it's very interesting.
This isn't about fame. It's about helping people.
You are talking about him, right? Easy, Ben.
You're talking about him, right? Because as we know, even before Ben got outed as, you know, being the one who's trying all these aliens, he let things get to his head a little bit. He started to act differently because he was being treated differently, especially after in Alien Force when he stopped the hybrid and everything. He got all these awards and accolades, and he just was letting it all go to his head. And so I think she's trying to say in that moment, are you really also talking about yourself, Ben, a little bit too? You're forgetting kind of why you're doing this and the Omnitrix and what you were using it for initially when you got it all those years ago in Classic. It's a fair thing. I think it was a very interesting response. I'm glad that they had that little bit there because I think it's justified. Because Ben's not always like that, but we've seen times where, yes, he is. And he still kind of is now because now he's in the public eye, especially with how he was responding and being around Captain Nemesis here. So, okay. So Captain Nemesis, it really didn't click until about a little bit into the episode, really, and then I mentioned it during the reaction. He's kind of like the Tony Stark, the Iron Man of this world, and it really didn't click until later on for some reason. I don't know why it didn't click immediately, but literally he has all these guys. Now, normally Iron Man in the comics and stuff, and even in the movies, has some help, but ultimately he's making the suits. This guy here, Captain Nemesis, Overlord, as he screamed when he became a villain in the third act of the episode, he has helpers. So, in a sense, the suit is what's making him the hero. But then we find out he hired those guys to kidnap that actress or whatever from that movie that the opening was all about and everything. And she was throughout the episode, of course. It was all public image because Ben was there. Because Ben was there really first. But Captain Nemesis hired those guys to create this whole thing of, kidnapping her and a ransom of a lot of money. He was already on the rooftop waiting, and then he was going to swoop down, and then he was there, but Ben was ultimately the one who was getting the credit, because then the actress went to go and say, to kiss Ben and everything, thank you for saving me, and all this stuff, so it didn't work out. So this guy is trying to get back on top, and I don't remember this guy ever being mentioned before in this franchise. I say franchise because there's multiple series now, so I don't remember him ever being mentioned before. If he has, I don't remember, but I don't think he has. But regardless, he's in a state where he's trying to get his public image back, and Ben's just getting in the way. But the thing is that Ben is a whole different type of individual. I mean, Ben didn't have to go out and build a suit of armor, right? And then have it constantly modified. And to the point now in the third act where he's overloading it to where he could have died. It could have exploded or melted into him, which he would have killed him. Regardless, Ben found the Omnitrix, of course. It's very different circumstances, but, Ben isn't going around hiring people to then stop things. Because the guy admitted he broke out or freed those robots that ended up showing up in the episode to then stop them or whatever. Like, he was doing all this stuff as a publicity stunt to get attention. And he really feels like Tony Stark because the fact he has all this money, he has this gigantic building, however, he has a bunch of companies, definitely is the Tony Stark in this situation. But the guy he forgot, and that's why it was been the whole point I pulled up that clip too, because the guy forgot the whole point of being a hero in the first place. But it is what it is. Of course, they had Harang, or I think that's how you pronounce his name, in the episode, being an ass once again, always blaming Ben and stuff. I thought it was kind of interesting to see, both of them, as I think the actress or whatever, Jennifer or something, saying the old school and the new hottie or whatever, talking about Ben, and they were doing that charity thing. And it was funny because we also got to see once again the Ultimatrix is not always working as it should, because he was going to turn into Jet Ray during that race. He turns into Wrath. But I think why they did that is because they had John DiMaggio, who's the voice of Harang. He was already in the studio and he voices Wrath, so I was like, okay, let's just have him voice Wrath in the episode too. So that's why they did that instead of Jet Ray. Even though we did see Jet Ray in the episode, they probably did well, let's just bring in Wrath because everyone loves Wrath. I mean, he's so fucking hilarious. He's so funny. So let's just have him in the episode, even though it really doesn't make a lot of sense. We got to see Forearms again. Now, we saw Forearms a number of episodes ago, this new version of him. It's definitely an interesting design. I miss the classic look of Forearms, though, but I do think it's interesting that we have a different look for him now, since we've now moved past the classic series, and they waited till Ultimate to then bring forth Forearms. So I think that was cool. So it wasn't like an Alien Force. We brought him back. I don't think he was an Alien Force. I think it was an Ultimate Alien when they first brought him back after Classic. So it's a change. I still prefer the classic look, but that's just me personally, because I I hold the classic to a high standard because it's such a great fucking show. To me, it's one of the best animated shows I've ever seen. So I'm so happy I was able to share my experience of watching classic for the very first time on the channel, because it's so good in my opinion. It's so good. Now I had to look this up. So Water Hazard is the first alien we got introduced to in the first episode of Ultimate Alien, and Andreas, when Ben turned to him, I could hardly hear when he turned, but I think it was pronounced Armadillo or something like that. I think that's the pronunciation of when he turned into him. So we got to see a little bit of variety, and then of course we went Ultimate Humongosaur in the episode as well, and Goop. Like he turned into a variety of aliens in this episode. It was really cool. Spider Monkey. So it was a good variation of aliens in this episode, and kind of seeing not so much the public perception, because we didn't get to see a lot of public response, but just more so like the idea of, we have this hero who was around for a while. He fell and he literally just went to the dark side and just hated the fact that Ben was taking the spotlight from him, and he was basically allowing himself to potentially die, even though I don't think he thought this through. But he really should have thought this through, but I don't think he was thinking all this through, of taking off inhibitors or whatever to basically let the suit get to the point where it's like about to explode or melt or whatever, and it would have killed him. Like regardless, it would have been really bad for him. But he was just so obsessed with the fact that Ben is taking my spotlight. I need it. You know, he was just getting really, really mad. So overall, this was a very interesting episode for sure, because I wasn't sure where we were going when the opening, because I'll be honest with you, when the opening first started and we're in a line at a bookstore or some sort of store with books or whatever on the title, and this girl shows up, she's an actress from a movie or whatever, the vampires and stuff, I'm thinking, okay, I don't know where this episode's going, but I don't know about the start there. I'm kind of getting worried, because we literally had a really good episode last week with the Agor situation. And this was actually ended up being a pretty good episode, in my opinion. I think it was pretty good in terms of having another hero who fell, as I was mentioning, and went to the dark side and all that. I think it was a interesting start, but then you see the bigger picture of like what he was willing to do. He was willing to have these guys as hired guns, using weapons that one of his companies had made, to then pretend to come in and save the day, to then get the spotlight again. And then of course Ben was already there, so the timing of it. And the fact is too, when the attack went down with those robots coming out of that portal, I don't remember seeing anybody notifying anybody that they were there, and all of a sudden here's Captain Nemesis, of course, because he was here and he planned this all out. But then Ben showed up soon after, so I'm not sure how he found out about them appearing. I don't know, because I think they're always on constant patrols. Maybe that it just the luck of the draw. I don't know. But it was a nice reveal too that, you know, Ben and Julie were in this thing where Julie's getting her, like, at first she's like they're just friends, and then he turns out they went to dinner. He was in her jacuzzi, this, you know, the actress or whatever, and then she's getting more upset. And then at the end, when he had to make a choice of who was going to save, he didn't have to really make a choice, because there was, you know, Gwen and Kevin were going to be there. But ultimately, Ben chose to save Julie, because he says, as Goop, you're my girl, or whatever. It's like, it's kind of weird that it's coming out of Goop's mouth, like his voice. But it was adorable, because Ben chose her. Because obviously Ben's going to choose Julie. I mean, I don't think he really liked her anyways. Like the Jennifer girl or whatever, the actress, I don't think he actually really liked her. He was more like infatuated when he got invited to the party with Captain Nemesis and everything, and then, you know, all that. So he really didn't. There was no like conflict, and I like that also about the episode. I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but I probably mentioned it in the comments as well. I like the fact that Ben actually didn't have a crush on the girl, right? The other girl, because it's typical drama, which we don't need. I like the fact that that was actually not a thing. He was more actually on a crush on Captain Nemesis as like this guy he really admires and looks up to. I think that was good. Also, one final thing to note before we wrap up the video here that I thought was really funny is Captain Nemesis, every single time he was mentioning Ben, whether his first name or Tennyson, he always butchered it. I think he intentionally did it or whatever, but he never said it right as far as I remember. He never said it right once. I think that's like one of the funnier moments, because Ben Tennyson, it's a pretty simple thing to learn, but he always screwed it up. Somehow, some way, mispronunciation or throwing in letters there they're not supposed to be there, replacing letters with other letters. It's funny, like 10, like a Benison or something, like 10 Benison, like, and then he was like doing other things. Like, the fuck is he, like, what is he saying? I thought that was always a funny little thing there, to have this guy just not say it right, not at all. So It was good. So overall, had a good time with this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about this episode. What do you think about specifically about this being the Iron Man? I'm assuming most of you probably think he is the Iron Man, or the kind of Iron Man character of this universe. But whatever thoughts you have, guys, about the episode as a whole, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm curious to know your thoughts. Hope you guys enjoy the reaction. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.